pit stop there.
Yeah.
Which wasn't as short as
we'd hoped.
But hey, we found what we were looking for.
Sorta.
But it was about 4 times more than we thought it was going to be.
If you're at Walmart, folks, double check the price tag and the item.
Yeah. Don't rely on the shelf tag.
Yeah. I should know this. I used to work there and had to fix other people's mistakes all the time.
So,
you remember those good old days, don't you, Bobbie?
Yeah. So, this is probably going to necessitate another stop.
Unfortunately.
But it will be necessary for us to swap the videos from the phones.
Yes, because if we don't get something to do that with, these videos during Gen Con won't be up till after Gen Con.
Well, also, there will be a limit to how many videos you can take.
Yes,
So,
yes. This is true.
So, yeah. So that's what we did just now. And provisions. Gatorades.
Body armor for me.
Because, sure.
I find I like the taste a little bit better. And that's mainly why I get the body armor lights. It's because it's a cleaner, more like the fruit flavor.
Okay. So to each their own.
Also, I really like the flavor of mango, and there's no like mango Gatorade.
Did they stop making it?
They have like some sort of tropical mixed thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like, the body armors I get is the peach mango.
Yeah. Well, whichever flavor you prefer,
To each their own. It's a sports drink. It's gonna give me what plants crave. So,
want Powerade, go for Powerade. Want this, go to this, with Gatorade.
well, we are not sponsored by any of these companies.
Want Brondo, the thirst eliminator.
Get you some Brondo.
Go for your protein drinks. You want some Soylent. I hear the green one's the good one to get.
God, we still need to find a way for me to watch it. I've never seen it, actually watched it before.
It's on. I think I found a better version of it on YouTube one day.
Yeah, but every time we sat down to watch it, it was either like your internet wouldn't work right, or like we'd only get the bad version.
Yeah. I think
Or the poor quality version.
Yeah, it's mainly the poor quality version, but I thought I did find a better one on there. Maybe not. I know it's on one of the streaming services because I looked it up before.
I'll have to see which one. See if I can't watch it.
You ever watch Logan's Run?
The movie, yes. Because I know there was also a TV series.
Yeah, there are like 5 people on Earth know about the TV series. Don't worry about it. I mean the movie.
Yes, I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Also read some of the reimagined comics that came out much later.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
The movie was good.
Yeah. It's worth a watch for your 70s dystopian sci-fi.
Yeah. Well,
Michael York is the protagonist.
what they call a Sandman.
Yeah. Can't think of the name of the guy who's chasing him. He's one of the other Sandmen.
Yes.
But I believe he's played by the guy who played Duncan Idaho in the original Dune movie.
He is.
Yeah. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I know he passed away several years ago. But yeah. He's also in The Hunt for Red October.
Really?
Plays like I think he's Secretary of State. He's the one towards the beginning of the movie. They go to like the secret level to give him the briefing. And then throughout the movie, he's the one dealing with the Russian ambassador. Who's played by the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 2. Don't confuse any of those folks with the main characters, who Alec Baldwin plays Jack Ryan, and
Sean Connery.
Plays Marco Ramius, the captain of the Russian ship. I'm pretty sure that Stellan Skarsgård is the captain of the Russian ship that actually engages him towards the end of the movie. Although that's more of a bit role, and it's way early on in his career.
There's a speed trap ahead.
Yes, thank you for that, warning me about the speed trap phone. We're past it though, but thank you. Like I said, it's kind of
wasn't much of a trap.
Out to get us. So, then James Earl Jones plays Admiral Greer. Gates McFadden plays Jack Ryan's wife for all of like 2 minutes in the movie.
Really?
Yeah. One of the only other things I've seen old Dr. Crusher in.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. Then all kinds of known actors play the people on board the subs. Like Scott Glenn, he's the captain of the sub that he gets on the Dallas to get over to the Red October. Courtney Vance is the radio guy. Fred Thompson, he's the admiral aboard the aircraft carrier. And aboard the Russian ship, you've got Tim Curry's the doctor. Sam Neill is the second in command. I want to say that the political officer at the very beginning is someone I've seen in a few movies, typically playing a Russian, unless I'm mistaken. Although I think he was the main character in Life Force, which that's a movie that'll get its own video at some point. That's one of those gems from Canon Pictures, directed by Tobe Hooper.
It's a gem, all right.
I don't remember what he turned down to direct it, but it was something noteworthy.
He turned down something to direct Life Force.
Yeah, he did. Then I was watching another Canon movie that came out after that the other night on Shudder, Invaders from Mars. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. And at one point, the kid, the main character, sits down to watch something on TV. What's he watching? Life Force. Totally not age appropriate at all for that kid.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Tobe Hooper also directed that movie, The Invaders from Mars.
Okay.
I didn't see Tobe Hooper's other movies he's well known for directing anywhere, though. That would be the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist. Those are his more well-known accomplishments.
Go say something that might make the people out there a little shocked. Don't believe I've seen either of those.
Really? Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't super surprise me, but Poltergeist?
Which one is that?
Okay, so there's 3 of them. There was a remake not too long ago that I think has Sam Rockwell. I don't mean that one.
Okay, I have not seen it.
Okay, there were the original series has 3 movies. Craig T. Nelson is the dad. I can't think of the name of the woman who's the mom, but at the time she was married to Steven Spielberg. That's important because he produced the movies, and she played Willie Scott in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That's also probably why she was in that movie.
Probably.
It's not that she's a terrible actress or anything.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
It's just that, it's one of those, if you're with the producer, he can get you a part.
Yep.
But no, Poltergeist is the family moves into a house in a new subdivision, and there's a cemetery up kind of overlooking the subdivision. And as the movie progresses, you find out the cemetery used to be where the subdivision is. And then you find out that they really only just moved the headstones. They didn't bother to move the graves. And the folks that are buried there, a little bit upset. So they begin taking out their rage on one of the families.
I can understand them being upset.
Yeah. And so it kind of culminates in like a bunch of their coffins shooting up out of the ground and the skeletons popping out. The house gets like sucked into a black hole and crunched up. Yeah, all kinds of stuff happens towards the end. And, it's known for the fact that a couple of the cast members died quite mysteriously, if I recall. Namely, the little girl later on, and the Native American gentleman who is in the second movie, I believe.
So, Bobbie, how does me not having watched Poltergeist surprise you, considering you know for the most part I have not watched a lot of horror movies?
Yeah, but this is one of those, like, produced by Steven Spielberg. This has got to be okay for kids, right? Kind of horror movies. Which everyone found out, no, definitely not. It's not quite like, say, Gremlins, where you could see, oh yeah, you know,
Cute fuzzy thing.
this could be a kid's movie, and you find out it's definitely not. But, you know, you look at it sideways through a mirror, like, maybe you can see it. Poltergeist is more of like, if you know nothing about the plot and only see the Steven Spielberg part, you could be forgiven for thinking that.
I would like to point out my parents didn't much like put stock into stuff like that because they took me to see Jurassic Park when it first came out in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, I was like 5 years old or something.
That's alright. It's a fun movie with dinosaurs. Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
Notice the common thread here?
Never mind for a young child. It has a guy sitting on a toilet that gets eaten by a T-Rex. Spoilers for the movie, people.
Yeah. In case you haven't seen the movie that came out in the 90s. It had 5 sequels.
Yes. 2, 3 of them rather recent.
Yeah, recent-ish, yeah.
Then raptors that are able to open doors and in the movie do kill people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm failing to see the issue here.
Let's just say for about 2 weeks afterwards, someone had to stand outside the bathroom and guard the door. Just go to be honest here.
You know, there are 2 movies that I watched twice in theaters in the same day. One of them is the first Jurassic Park movie.
Congratulations.
Because my sister and I went to go see it, and our parents were like, well, is it worth the hype? We were like, oh yes, definitely. And so we didn't have anything else to do for the afternoon, so we just went right back to the theater and watched it again. The other, oddly enough, is Jurassic Park 3. And not because it was good, it was just a matter of circumstance. And people willing to pay me to take them to the theater and nothing else being on. So, kind of like how I watched The Phantom Menace the 7th time I watched it.
No.
Not the 8th time, which was actually well after it had been out of theaters. And I knew full well what I was getting into. Like, the hype had definitely died down. This was the 3D version that came out just before the Disney acquisition.
Yeah.
And
when there were rumors that they were going to 3Dize all of them.
No, there were no rumors. That was the plan. And so the reason I wanted to see that one, and this is some film trivia for you folks here, actual film trivia, The Phantom Menace was actually filmed on film. Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith were digital filming. And we know that they can do digital 3D. We've seen examples of it. And so we know that's doable. But film, going back and doing it, it was still a questionable endeavor. So I wanted to know how it would actually look because the original trilogy is on film, not digital. And those I'll go watch in 3D for sure.
Now, I will say, if Disney did cancel the 3D versions of them, like one of the smart moves they've done with Star Wars.
No, that's not smart.
How so?
Because they could have put the original trilogy back in theaters and made more money.
This is true.
I mean, skipping Attack of the Clones, totally understandable. I usually do.
I kind of like Attack of the Clones, okay? Okay, let me put it another way. I like the Clone Troopers.
To each their own.
Like, I like the scene of the start of the war.
Well, that's my biggest problem with the prequels is we don't ever actually see the war. You know, Attack of the Clones ends with the beginning of the war. Revenge of the Sith opens with essentially the end of the war.
Yes.
And I know it would require lots of money and time. I always thought they should have made a trilogy of movies between 2 and 3 to be the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then that way, in Revenge of the Sith, whenever the Jedi get attacked and eradicated in Order 66, you know, we, the audience, would care for them as individuals because they would have used the Clone Wars movies to flesh them out. You know, sure, you're still going to have Anakin and Obi-Wan, you know, here and there, you know, and the Emperor.
Take the next right onto West Fairview Road.
Ideally, you would have used the other lesser-known Jedi.
Ayla Sakura, Kit Fisto, Mace Windu.
Yeah, there's a whole longer list.
Yaddle.
Continue on West Fairview Road for 3/4 of a mile.
And more importantly, a criminally underused Christopher Lee.
Yes.
And maybe introduced Ventress into live action.
Yes, that would have been nice.
Like you know, that's had I been at the helm, that's what I would have done. Yeah, it would seem like a lot of movies, but you know,
I might have not taken that route. Honestly, the TV, the movie part, I would have kept it live action, but I would have done TV series.
you couldn't have at the time.
I would do more like an anthology over a normal TV series.
No, I mean because of the effects of the budget, you couldn't have at the time.
Could have.
Well, they only barely can now. This is 20 years later.
I mean, still would.
In a quarter mile at the traffic circle, continue straight to stay on West Fairview Road.
It would have been the same special effects for the movies.
Yeah, and the movies cost like $150 million each.
I ain't saying it'd be like hour-long episodes. I just think getting in there with the TV series gives you the chance to get to know the Jedi and the clones and the Sith better, as we see in the animated one.
Sure, but the problem with the animated series is that it came out well after the movies.
Yes.
And that's part of the whole point that I'm driving at is they needed to actually come out between episodes 2 and 3, so that whenever that moment comes in episode 3, as you're watching it for the first time, you know, it hits. You know, as is, it's, you know they're the Jedi, you know they're the good guys. You can see Yoda's reaction, which you're like, all right, who were literally all of those people?
Who was Plo Koon?
Yeah.
Why did we see him get shot down in the sky? Who is Ki Adi-Mundi?
Yeah, I mean,
why do we care that his clone troopers turn on him?
right.
Who is Ayla Sakura?
Yeah, up to that point, you only know their names like if you're reading comics, playing with the action figures, buying cards, whatever.
Or you just like to look into the lore?
Yeah, if you're just watching the movies, you don't know who any of those people are. So, you know, you don't care.
Nope.
I mean, you can care, you know, because of the Jedi, but,
In
you
a
know.
quarter mile at the traffic circle, take the third exit.
Okay.
Third exit.
Okay, just turn left. It's going left from the direction we're going right now.
Yes.
Now, I do think that Disney could still salvage something like that, and now either go, you know, live action, the show route, or make more movies. Now, if I were them, I would seriously consider the movie route now, because even though the last three made money, like, it's clear some people have some strong opinions on them.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm one of them. I think the last three were terrible, but
I am also not fans of them. I'm glad we got more Star Wars movies. Don't get me wrong. But the only thing good I can say about them is that the first one gave them, or the first one, number 7, gave them potential.
it did. Like seven, if you divorce it from being a sequel to the other 6 movies, is an okay movie.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't have any. It's not terribly written or anything, and you know, it's got some threads you can pick up in a sequel.
Yes, it clearly has its hooks thrown out there for sequel movies.
Right. To me, the big problem though is it is part 7, and basically tells you that the ending of part 6
1,000 feet,
didn't
turn
matter.
right onto West County Line Road.
Basically tells you that the struggles and fights of the last trilogy were pointless.
Yes.
You know, basically saying, well, Luke's a hermit, Han and Leia are broken up, their kids running the dark side, and there's some version of the Empire still
Take
out
a
there
second
doing its
right onto
thing.
West County Line Road.
And everyone seemed to have totally forgotten that to fight the Empire, you need ships and weapons. And just thought, hey, let's get rid of all that and hope peace reigns. Like it's ridiculous, the things that were done to basically reboot it back to the Rebels versus the Empire.
With new names.
Right.
Which
So,
I think
Continue on West County Line Road for half a mile.
I know there's been times where we've been in Star Wars conversations, and when I try to refer to the Resistance, I say like the new Rebels. Or the Rebels.
yeah, it isn't even in part 8 that they can't even decide which one they are. I think. I only watched part 8 once, so I can tell you for sure.
And it's like, we need to... Yeah, I've only watched part 8 once.
Yeah. And like, I think I watched 9. No, I only watched 9 once, too, because it was so ridiculous.
Well, it tried to do a hard right from number 8's hard left.
Yeah.
So, like...
Take the next right onto Lincoln Park Boulevard, then turn left onto Lincoln Park East Drive.
So, like... It's...
Yeah, so, to me,
Take the next left
Like-
onto Lincoln Park East Drive.
well, like, 7 set things in motion that were not going to end well.
No.
But push comes to shove, like, it could have been salvaged.
Yes.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Meridian Meadows Road.
It's 8 where everything just goes off the rails.
Yes.
So, you know, I could go into the big laundry list of reasons. Yeah, some of them are petty, like the whole hyperspace ramming thing really shouldn't have worked. But the biggest problem is
Take the next left onto Meridian Meadows Road.
the biggest problem is the fact that I was even thinking about that means the movie failed. Because I should have been too wrapped up in, oh man, this is awesome,
800
you
feet,
know.
turn left onto Cambridge Drive.
And instead it was, oh Jesus, like, should that even work according to the physics of the Star Wars universe? Like, I shouldn't be worried about that because there is no definitive treatise on the physics of the Star Wars universe. But that's what I was thinking of because the movie had failed to engage me. And then
Yes.
very
Take
shortly,
the next left onto Cambridge Drive.
I was.
very shortly after that was the moment where I literally had the thought of, I do not care how this ends. I don't care what happens to any of these people.
800 feet,
I'm
you will
done.
arrive at your destination.
By the way, it's the throne room fight scene after Snoke died. Like
Well-
right after Snoke was killed, I was like, this is so stupidly ridiculous. And then the fight, and I was
Bobbie,
like, no, I'm done. I'm
For
out.
me, the part where I realized I wasn't engaged with the movie was hyperspace lane tracking. The
Oh.
hyperspace tracking.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Yeah, that,
Like, that, it was, yeah. That was where I was like, I'm just sitting here for the ride now, I guess?
yeah.
Like, so,
Because they like that and the ramming they just break the Star Wars universe. It can't function because if you have those things, like the whole point of hyperspace in the other movies is you can't track someone once they go to hyperspace. So you
Yes.
gotta try to stop them.
it
from going to
is straight up
hyperspace.
stated in some of them.
Yeah, and so like they can guess like okay they shot that way, but like
Where are they dropping out?
You know, space is all encompassing. If you're off by a degree in your guess, like over a not very far timeline, you're going to be like 10 systems away from where they really went.
Also,
And then presumably they turn to went someplace else.
if you're off by a decimal point of where they stop, you could end up in an asteroid field or a star.
Right. So, and then like being able to hyperspace ram with the destruction that was caused, why did anyone need the Death Star?
Strap a hyperspace engine onto an asteroid and put an astromech droid
Yeah,
there.
that's all you would have had to have done. So, yeah, it's things like that that I know the movie's not meant to be taken super seriously, but whenever you have things like that, it just totally breaks the setting. And it's kind of like what we mentioned in the Thor 4 review, the whole like, if this was an option the whole time, why didn't they do this before? You know?
Yes.
So, like, you know, if it's one thing, you can kind of gloss over it, you know, but once they start piling up, and, like, whenever you get to episode 9, more baloney starts piling up, like the fleeted Exegol, you know, and everything to do with Exegol. They don't even tell you how the Emperor's still alive.
No, that was released in Fortnite.
Did they actually explain it there? Because in the movie they're just like, I don't know, maybe he's a clone or something. They literally just guess, you know. I mean, he is a clone of some
I don't
kind.
think they explain it, but the message that revealed he was alive was released for Fortnite.
Yeah, see, and that's ridiculous. They should have either ended The Last Jedi with that, or that should have been something that happens a few minutes into Rise of Skywalker.
Or it happens, you get that message, then you get the opening crawl.
Yeah, you know, it should have been something like that. So anyway, you know, we can tear apart.
Not everyone plays Fortnite.
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah. So anyway, we can tear apart the Star Wars sequel trilogy all day long.
And we might.
Yeah, I'm sure
In future videos, I'm
Yes.
sure they're coming.
I'm sure there will be future videos of this. This is where we really need Jimmy. Jimmy tries to stay positive about the sequel trilogy and tries to find the good side to it. Like, God love him, he tries.
Yes, he does. He tries.
And he probably gets tired of my relentless negativity about him. I can't say I blame him, you know.
I don't get tired of it.
That's because we agree on it.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, well, folks, we are at one of our other stops we have to make on the way to downtown. So,
Yeah.
we might be back on once we start heading downtown. Don't know yet. We'll see. If not, then this will be the last car talk for now until we start heading back.
Which will be Sunday afternoon, evening.
Sunday afternoon. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. Otherwise, the next video, like our little ongoing adventure, will probably be filming inside the somewhat empty convention center.
Hopefully, somewhat empty.
Yeah. So that
We would love to get you folks a comparison shot.
Yeah.
In truth, just how it is every roughly normal day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got conventions there all the time. So
And then like
it's more
how
like,
it is at the height or start of Gen Con, really.
I've been in there when a couple other conventions have been in there, and like at least the ones one was like the National Librarians Association or something. Not a raucous, rowdy crowd, as I'm sure you can guess.
And now I'm just figuring there's a lot of people going,
Probably. So anyway, like we said, hopefully we'll be able to get some footage there inside. Hopefully we'll be able to find the thing that we were looking for at Walmart at Best Buy here shortly.
yes.
So
We
anyway,
are not sponsored by Walmart or Best Buy
Yes, we have no sponsors.
so far.
So, if you make a good product, like,
Netflix.
yeah. In 3 years, whenever season 5 comes out, remember us.
See?
We'll definitely be doing a video on Stranger Things, I'm sure. So.
More than likely.
All right, so
We'll see you folks later.
Yep. Adios.